we once again we're here with Yellow Cake Radio. My name is Taste Nate. We have Vectorman. He just came through this Stargate portal right now to be here. So this is something very rare that we have going on today. So if you're listening live, that's like, wow.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
I never come outside.
Yeah, we should. And it's like, yeah, I've never seen him out of his like Halo style armor.
Yeah, you're not supposed to see my face.
You're not supposed to see his face.
Season 5, but
yeah, doing a reveal today. So we released a project called Blackangsttape, and it's a super gritty hip hop, and then breezed in there you can clearly see a resemblance to like the previous Vectorman projects. That is like a continuation of it. You know what I mean? Especially near the end of the project, but y'all gonna have to listen to it yourself. You feel me? Yeah. So what Blackangsttape? Where did you where did that come from? That idea?
Man, it's hard to get myself to stay motivated to make new stuff. So I kind of have to fool myself into making things. So I always say that I'm gonna make a mixtape, and then when I get about a certain amount of songs, I'm like, no, this is clearly like I'm going in on this like it's an album, So it was only 7 songs. I made them over about a year and a half. I recently dropped Ultraviolet, which was my last joint. That was more like introspective, self-healing, after like a traumatic injury. To my body, and it completely changed everything for me. So then it was like a rebuilding point for me. So, but I've always been a little edgy, but like you really got to think. I try to write things with multiple meanings, but there is a dark aspect to my stuff, but I don't want it to be, the intention is always to be like, ultimately positive. So Ultraviolet was ultimately very positive,
Yeah, it's definitely a stark contrast between the other one.
Yeah.
And then speaking of mixtape, so when he was Dynamic Being, the first time I heard his mixtape was in 2011, and that was on a similar situation like a podcast, Yellow Cake Radio, that we had going on at that time. And he was one of the first artists that had like a interview with us. So it's crazy how we've gone full circle, reconnected, and he's released a few projects on Yellow Cake as a label. So it's like good to be rocking with people that, was here when we started Yellow Cake Radio as well, and still be putting out work. And then, I did see that as far as like the contrast between Ultraviolet, which was it seemed like you were gonna, it's like a breakaway. It's introspective before we had like all this weird shit going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was before it all happened.
And then it's like now during the time where people are being introspective, you're kind of talking more like on a more, I feel like it's more gangster like in a way,
Yeah, like I don't listen to a lot of shit, and it's like the stuff I do listen to isn't necessarily like what I think is the dopest shit. It's just like, what do I happen to be playing all the time right now? And for a minute it was Griselda, I just appreciated that sound, like how everybody contrasts each other. And it's like they're always trying to outdo each other. The beat selection is always just like, I think they use Derringer a lot. Dope dude. So I like that genre, even though that's not really my lane. So you'll see in this project that there's an influence there. But I think for me, it's like I want to try and make a version of that's authentic to me, So that's what I was trying to do here. And also it's the angst, the word angst, the anger, the frustration. I think like a set off was Stephon Clark was a big set off for me in Sacramento.
Oh,
That
yep.
shooting set me off. And then we did that song on Ultraviolet, which kind of feels like a more of a Black Angst song.
Oh, yep.
That was
Dogma.
Dogma. That's where it started. So right about then, I was like, angry, frustrated about stuff. It's like, like.
Yeah, for me, I was gonna ask you where it kind of started, because in my mind, it was what song it was No Bodies. That seemed like the song that started the Black Angst tape to me.
So I do,
and then it was the Dogma shit, like continued it, and then now it's just like a whole thing.
But then there was a song on your beat on Vectorman 1. So I always have an angry politically like charged lean, What was
you're talking Gregorian?
No, on Vectorman 1, the last song.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was like the 13th track.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like talking about doing like LSD on a beach and shit, and talking about like some deep shit with people,
Yeah.
So there's always an angry political lean, and I'm politically charged, so like.
Yeah, and I think there's can be a misconception too, as an artist, that you are what your art is, like your identity is the art, because you're like a super like positive person to be around and have like overall like a good vibe and stuff. So it's like when you hear the music, it's like, oh, is that the person? It's like it doesn't always match up.
I'll be real with you, man. I don't know. I don't think the contrast is crazy, but I see it, but I don't understand it either. I don't know why. I think for me, it's like if you make art, it's like the reason I think anime is cool is because you can draw something better than you can make in like a movie theater with people. You can just draw some shit that's just so off the wall that you couldn't. CGI would take forever to, so.
But I was thinking, in a way, doing something called Black Angst tape. Do you think that helps you from actually being violent in real life, like making the music? It helps you from like actually having that violent outrage against some of the injustices?
As a black male, like the violent outrage is like a daily thing. So I think Black Angst tape was like I think you hear it on the song Dread with IMF. It's like I'm trying to be like, look, this is what I had to make to like keep my shit together, So, yeah, I'm angry, but like this is art. I also thought of these songs. Let me fix my mic. I also thought of these songs as a performance art, like like I thought of each one like how I want to perform it and people to understand, like, because I think the performance is really half of the whole shit. It doesn't matter how good the writing is if you don't like render it properly, then. It's lost. So.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, and it's like, it's not like we're kind of like in a place where it's like we don't have like a somewhere to like express what we feel like, so this is what we have available. And obviously even being reactive to the things that happen to you, it seems like you're always going to be the one that's to blame for it, It's like the sad truth about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
what do you do with it?
At least when you make music, you have something available to others to like, okay, this is how I feel right now, and at least I can relate to them, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's one of my outlets, so this became a big outlet for me, just like the last project was, and I think compared to Vectorman 1 and 2, Vectorman 1 was me just rapping over shit I liked, Vectorman 2 was me, all right, let me try and rap over my own shit, which isn't something you just immediately do effortlessly, you know what I'm saying? So, and then Ultraviolet was like, all right, let me make a package. Like, did I do top to bottom,
Yeah.
All the composition. And now this is in between. It's like I needed some other beats, so that I could be inspired. If I wait on myself to make a beat, then we're going to be waiting.